And welcome back to Island Life Live. Since 1990, the Domestic Violence Action Center, or DVAC, a 501c3 nonprofit organization based here in Hawaii, has been committed to addressing domestic violence and other forms of harm with compassion and open heart, understanding, and acceptance. And joining me right now is DVAC's Chief Executive Officer, Monique Ibarra. Thank you so much for coming back into our hall. Now, this is Child Abuse Awareness Month.
Yes.
And I just wanted to ask you, why is this important to DVAC and how does it relate to the work you do as a domestic violence agency?
It's so important for us to recognize that child abuse happens. We have a month to recognize it, although it happens throughout the year. And oftentimes what we see is when there's child abuse happening, there's also domestic violence that's happening in the home. And that's what we want to make sure that the community understands as well.
I wanted to ask you, can you define what domestic violence looks like? What are the different types?
Yeah, there's a definition that we use. Domestic violence is about one partner using a pattern of behaviors to have power and control over another partner and intimate partner relationship.
So that could look like what? Mental abuse, physical abuse, those kinds of things?
Physical and sexual abuse. So that might look like hitting, punching, slapping. Sexual abuse could be a rape of a partner. There's also what we would consider psychological or emotional abuse, and also financial abuse as well in a home.
Wow. So if there's a Keiki in the house that is witnessing this, I know there's long-term effects and short-term effects. So what are some of the ways that they are affected?
It affects them in various ways. Even if they don't ever witness the domestic violence, which is what we hear, it still has an effect on them. It's traumatic. It creates anxiety and stress for them, which can look like not being able to focus in school, having fear to be at home, having fear around other people. And so it really is traumatic for a child to have to witness and be a part of that home that is not safe.
Again, thank you so much for all the work that you guys do. Now, what can we as a community do for our Keiki and adults who are in abusive homes?
Well, what we want to look at is we want to build resiliency for the child. So we want to have protective factors for them. And I just want to mention two that are really important for us to consider. One would be to have that child have a nurturing relationship. So that might be an adult who is safe for that child to be able to go to get help, to speak about what's going on in the home. And that could be a grandparent, that could be a school teacher, a counselor. So we want to look at nurturing relationships. The other thing is to have a safe environment for that child. And if there's a place that they can go to have safety and have a place where they don't have that amount of stress, we would look at different resources available to them. And it might be a domestic violence shelter that the family can go to for safety, or a family or friend that they can go to have safety and not be in that environment, hopefully forever.
Right on. So there are definitely options for our ohana out there. If you are experiencing domestic violence in your home, if people want to get a hold of you guys at the Domestic Violence Action Center, how can they do that?
They can go to our website at stoptheviolence.org. They can call our hotline, which is 808-531-3771. Go to our website and get that information. But there's not just DVAC. There are domestic violence organizations across our state that they can call. So if they're on another island, please call their local domestic violence organization to get the help that they need.
Monique Ibarra is the Chief Executive Officer of the Domestic Violence Action Center. Mahalo again for joining us.
Thank you so much.